on day 3. We already have a bunch of likes on there. Let's wait until our people start showing up. We are live. Really happy to be here, guys. It is a Wednesday, May, 6th today? I'm really excited to be here with you. We're already getting some comments. Let me know down in the comments where you are watching us from. We got people all over, literally all over the world. So let us know where you're watching and drop me a like down below. It gets more people to watch the video, gets more people excited and more people interacting with the video, obviously creating a very tight-knit community that's getting results with their e-commerce business. It's my thing. I'm authentic. Wait, no, it's here. I'm authentic and my goal is to get you results. So that's definitely what I want to do. And let us know where you're from down there. There we go. Hey, whoa, we got a lot of people. And yes, today we will check the microphone today to see if there's any echoes. We don't want any more echoes, but it should be fine. We checked as best as we possibly could. And Colorado, Idaho, Malaysia, Israel, India, Texas. Wow, we got people. Literally, we already have 100. Amazing. Thank you, people. Lebanon. Where else we got? Love you, Rafael. Oh, thank you. I love you too. If you're here, it's because I love you. Philippines. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So, I want to turn off my comments here. Okay. Awesome.
Hi, Katrine.
Yeah, we got a lot of people. This is amazing. Okay, everybody, welcome to the family. Happy to have you here. We have a lot of familiar faces that you've been joining us for a couple of days, so thank you again. And I want to bring on my good friend Tony Tobar, who has helped me in the past couple of days teach you as much as possible about e-commerce and getting results with your business. He is a multi-7-figure entrepreneur, has built multiple businesses, and is my own student. He built an e-commerce business learning what I teach. So he's living proof that what I do and what I teach works. So I want to bring him on. Is that absolutely cool? If I bring him on, there's a lot of people on here. We want Tony as well. They want you, Tony. So should I bring you on?
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's test the audio.
How does that sound? Does it sound echoey? Did we manage to solve that problem?
Do we have any echo? Let us know if we have any echo down below, because if we don't, then that means we're Gucci.
We're Gucci.
Rafael, from what? I'm from Puerto Rico. It's part of the United States. It's a little territory off the coast of Mexico and Central America. But I lived in the US a lot of time, and now I'm in Asia. So I'm in Southeast Asia right now. Yes, mic sounds great.
I think we solved the echo, man. I think we're good.
The mic sounds great. Oh my God, amazing. Okay, so happy to have you, Tony. Thank you again for coming on here. No echo, no. Look at those comments, Jesus. Okay, thank you everybody for being on here. Drop me a like down below. We'll get into the presentation right now. Let's go.
Who's ready? Yeah, who's ready to get into the meat of it today, guys?
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, let me know if you can hear that. All right. If there's no echo is fixed.
No echo. Good. All right. Yeah, I think we're Gucci, bro.
Yeah, cool. Are you in Puerto Rico right now? No, I'm in Southeast Asia. I do have family in Puerto Rico though, but I'm in Southeast Asia right now. No echo. Oh my God, there's no echo. Amazing, Tony, you fixed it. Ooh.
Yes, okay. Resolved. Thank Lord.
Yes, I speak Spanish. Okay. Tony, you sound like a singer. Oh, there's some fans here of you. Okay.
I'm actually a radio broadcaster on my off days.
Is Tony Boricua also? I don't know.
Not a Boricua.
No, I think
that's not to say I don't love Boricuas. You know what I mean?
Okay, welcome to the Automated E-commerce Day 3. Mastering traffic. We're going to talk everything about Facebook ads, Google ads, Instagram, influencers, all that it takes to drive traffic to your store and achieve consistent advertising results. So what I want you to take away from today is 1, how to get the most money out of your money that you spend. So if you spend money on advertising, how to get the most money possible back. And also what I want you to learn is how to combine different sources of traffic and how to really target a perfect audience and create the most perfect ad that you possibly can. Because what a lot of people do out there is they just give you another ads training and another ads training and so on and so forth. We don't want to give you another way of creating a Facebook ad campaign. We want to give you the way that works. So that's what we're going to give you today. And let's get started. Please leave your questions to the end of the presentation. We will be answering absolutely everything at the end. So if you have any questions, anything that's itching you and you want to ask it right away, please ask it at the end. I would love that. Okay.
Yeah, make sure you save your question, jot it down, do whatever it is that you need to do. But when we get to the Q&A section, you will know it's your time to ask that question. All right, guys?
Awesome. The power of proper traffic. So these are some of the students right here who are doing extremely well. They're doing about $1,000 a day consistently. And this was just in the beginning of them. So the power of proper traffic is you can replicate the same amount of success on multiple people at the same time. So a lot of people ask me, why do you talk a lot about your students? Why do you talk a lot about your students' successes? Well, if I would talk all day about my successes, then what's the point of me teaching if I can't replicate that with other people? Because it doesn't matter to you, right? If I'm successful, but then I can't replicate it to anybody, then what's the point? The point is that I can replicate it to pretty much everybody that I touch. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm saying that the people that I work with definitely get the results. So that's the power of proper traffic, obviously combined with, if you remember, the formula, PTS, product, traffic, and store. Now, Johnny right here, who I talked about in the past couple of days, he made $77,000 in a month, last month of April, absolutely crushed it. And Johnny, you won't believe it, in February, he wasn't even making like $5,000 a month. In just 2 months, he was able to grow from like 4 figures or a couple of sales all the way up to a massive level where in this year, he's probably going to make $1 million in sales and about 250, 300 grand in profit. So just an insane growth from learning the proper strategies, the PTS method, product, traffic, store, and obviously mastering traffic, which is the way that you drive a lot of the sales. The way that you drive sales is through traffic, obviously. And also here we have another student who made $40,000 in 1 week. And this guy started working with me in February. Actually, he joined one of our mentoring programs and he just started absolutely smashing it. I'm not going to talk about that right now, but he just started absolutely smashing. $40,000 in a week, $85,000 in 2 weeks. Just absolutely crazy. That's the power of proper traffic. Again, $6,000 in a single day. Just crazy what you can do when you master ads. All right, this one as well. As you can see, I don't only show revenue, but I actually show ad spend. So this is from one student in Europe who, if you're wondering, maybe I'm from Europe, I'm from Germany, I'm from, I don't know, the UK, Australia, whatever it is. Does this work for me or does it only work for the US? Well, it works for pretty much everybody as long as you can create a Shopify store. This student particularly spends about €13 or 13,000 or $14,000, consistently making about 30,000. So a return of 2.5, almost 2.5 there of every single dollar that she spends. I want you to take from this training that you can spend $1, make $2.50. Spend $1, make $2.50. You can do it too with the right strategy. And I really want to grain that into your head because a lot of people don't believe themselves or don't believe that they can do it. They think, oh, maybe these other people, they're gifted, or maybe they have some special strategy. Maybe they're smarter than everybody else. And I'm sure, Tony, in the beginning when you were starting out, maybe you didn't have the best success possible.
Go. Do me a favor, Rafael. Go back a couple slides. Yep. Let me go back a couple slides to where you see a graph that gradually starts, and then like there's a day where he went negative, and then it started higher. So I want you to understand, guys, that like, and I'm a little delayed because I'm looking at the feed here, but if you're looking at the right graph, the thing about this is that that's exactly what the story is like. When you have, let's say that you have everything that in the pieces, the correct, like even the product, right? Even the product. Actually, it was another one. I think it was another. Here. So when you see this, like where it says it was the insane month, you look below. I'm sorry, you start off and you're kind of doing a couple things right. You're starting to see a couple things shake, and then all of a sudden you have a bad day. You don't just give up because you think the product doesn't work. You continue to do your best to see the growth happen. And I think that's what happened with me, Rafael. Like I remember when I first got started, I was just like, oh, like I'm spending money and like this thing is just breaking even, but you know what? We're good. I'm getting points. So let's just keep trying. And then before you know it, like the idea is that over time, when you follow the PTS system and then also have a team, or well, it depends, but if you surround yourself with people that are doing this thing too, you can't fail. Like, you gotta just keep trying and going and testing until you get this going. And this is the story of a really good e-commerce person. It's a person who continues to strive regardless. At first, I was a little timid too. Weren't you, Rafael? Like, at first I was spending a little bit of money, but then when you start seeing results, when you start seeing conversions, when you start seeing these things happen to you, like, you all of a sudden you start making big moves because you're just like, yes, like, this cannot fail. Let's go. Right, so you have to gain a little bit of that confidence at first, and then keep growing.
Yeah, and minor setbacks. For example, when I say minor, that's relative to anybody. But for example, for this student, it wasn't an error that he particularly did. It was a payment error. So for example, one of the accounts that he was receiving payments to, he had a lot of issues, so he had to refund some of those payments, and that's why he had some issues. But then he went right back up and he scaled it up and made all the money back and more. So he would have made about 120,000, I think, without the actual refunds, and the refunds weren't even his fault. So that's the crazy thing about it. But the reality is, you've been taught wrong. And tell me if this describes you. If you've taken some sort of Facebook ads training, maybe you paid a $200, $1,000, $2,000, whatever it is, and there's so many people out there offering ads trainings, Facebook ads training, Facebook ads course, and get my Facebook ads masterclass and things like that. And that's great. If they know what they're doing, then that's great. But they're all teaching so many advanced and complicated methods that it just doesn't seem to match up with your store. It never seems to match up with your results, with your own products. So they're essentially teaching you wrong. They're not teaching you the way that you should be taught if you're not making millions. They're teaching you the way that you should be taught if you're beginning or starting or making a few sales here and there, or making consistently, but you want to scale it. That's the way to do it. So we're going to teach you right today. And the truth is, traffic equals advertising. You've never seen this billboard before, and we're not going to talk about billboard advertising in any way. But here, you'll see an ad in a billboard, and it's basically an empty toilet paper with Imodium. Imodium is a supplement that you take, or a little medicine that you take to go to the bathroom. So immediately you can see the solution to the problem. You can see what the product does. You can see the actual pain that this product relieves. Remember, yesterday we were talking about products. You need products that solve a problem. You need products that, for example, give some sort of relief to a pain. Obviously, you're not going to sell this type of product, but you immediately see from the ad what it does. That's key. That's one of the things that you need to keep into account. Traffic isn't just about random luck. You're not going to magically create a good ad. If you create 1,000 ads, magically one of them is not going to work. Don't think of this as gambling, because a lot of people see business and advertising and e-commerce as gambling, and this is not gambling. Anybody can make an ad. That's the truth. You don't need another ads training. You don't need another technical training on how to set up a Facebook ad, because anybody can make an ad. You can go and watch a video, how to set up a Facebook ad, and you can go and do it. Imagine not having to take another ads course. You don't need another ads course. Imagine not worrying what you need to write on your ads, because what I'm about to teach you, different concepts, it's going to write itself. What you're going to look is that once you understand this, you can literally write ads in 5 minutes, and you'll write it and it's perfect, ready to go to start performing. Imagine being able to specifically target high quality, high value traffic that will buy from you. Targeting is one of the things that everybody struggles with. We're going to talk about that as well. Imagine that your ads finally convert. Your ads convert. That's a magic word that everybody always says, I want my ads to convert. My ads aren't converting. Conversions. Your ads convert. Easy. Take it slow and let's do it. Stop following the hype and the new strategies, the shiny ad syndrome. And if you have shiny ad syndrome, because I used to have this, and I used to have a really bad case of shiny ad syndrome, it's going to end here. In advertising, there's a very simple framework. And I want you to understand this. It's a framework, and if you don't know what a framework is, essentially, if you're building a house, let's say you're building a new house for yourself, the walls, the roof, the bottom, everything comes together in a framework. So you're creating this massive thing with a framework. Now, the framework is that the audience and the message have to match in order for the ads to be successful. You're a matchmaker. And that's the beauty of this. You're not taking some luck. You're not gambling money. You're taking an audience combining it with a message, and the message can be ad copy, video, whatever it is. But you're essentially a matchmaker. You're like Cupido, or like Cupid, sorry, Cupid. You're taking two loves and connecting them to each other and matchmaking them.
Yeah, Facebook, and one of the things I wanted to say here too is like, you're Cupid. That's your job at first, right? Like you're Cupid, that's your job at first. You're a matchmaker. But then the beauty of this is when you do it right, guys, when you do this right, when you do the advertising, the traffic stuff right, when you scale it, then Facebook becomes the matchmaker. So there's a little bit of a lesson in there, I think, Rafael, like a little deeper, right? Like you have to play Cupid, but then you no longer, after a while, you don't even have to do that. You let Facebook be Cupid because they have more data, more information, more power, more stuff for them to figure out who the right match is. But you have to be Cupid and find those matches first.
Exactly. You need to do it first before Facebook does it. That's beautifully put. Exactly. And the truth is, Facebook, Google, and Instagram ads right now are cheaper than ever because of the pandemic. So obviously we're all going through this period of the coronavirus. A lot of companies are going bankrupt. A lot of companies are just disappearing. For example, airlines just took another hit. Cruise ships just took another hit. And airlines and travel companies, tourism companies are one of the massive spenders on Facebook specifically. So a lot of these massive billion-dollar companies that are spending literally millions of dollars a day on advertising. I heard airlines spend like 20 million to 30 million a day in advertising. That's obviously being cut right now because they're not getting any customers. So you have a space of so much money flooding on Facebook that you can take advantage of. And if you're thinking, oh, but ads are too expensive, you're thinking of the right way, the wrong way. They are cheaper than ever, and they're gonna keep getting cheaper as long as the days continue throughout this pandemic. No more copying templates, putting random emojis on your ad copy. And if you're guilty of this, you think that, oh, let me put more emojis in my ad copy. Let me just spend more hours figuring out what to write. Let me look at a book or another ads training that tells me the template. The little template. And templates, I know, Tony, you hate this word templates because people don't need templates. You need how to learn how to do it and then replicate, not just copy paste something, because it's not going to work if you copy paste it, and also you don't learn the lesson behind it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like frameworks are meant that like a template is giving you it's giving you an idea, right? Like, oh, hey, this is what I did, this is what worked. The problem is that most templates don't work for you anymore. Like, how many templates have you guys gotten, have you actually tried, and then you don't get the same results? Like, that happens often. Like, there's very rarely that templates actually work, and so frameworks are really where the key is at. Like, understanding the basic fundamental aspects, the basic principles of something in order to keep going, right? And so the same goes with ads. As long as you understand the framework for creating these ads, you no longer have to worry about templates. Guess what? You save money. You don't have to pay for templates anymore, you know?
Exactly. So whoever's telling you, pay me 200, 500, whatever dollars for my ads templates, please ignore them. Please learn how to do it yourself. So always learn over copy.
Yep.
Now the message is important, not the technicals. So a lot of people, they come and they ask me, and you probably have this question. I got this question yesterday, actually. A lot of students come and they ask me, what's the best time to launch Facebook ads? Or what specific bidding strategy should I use for my Facebook ad? Or what should I target conversions, or should I target impressions? Should I bid for this particular thing, this particular thing? And although technicals are important in some aspects, I always look at these students and I look at their ads, I look at their overall structure of what they're doing, and it always has some flaws that don't have anything to do with the technicals. So if you're ignoring your audiences, you're ignoring your ad copies, you're ignoring actually going to the foundation of why ads work and just focusing on some technicals, like, oh, maybe I launch it at midnight so it works better. Okay, maybe it gives you a little bit of a boost, but you need to go back to the basics. Like, you got the framework.
Yeah, I agree, Rafael. Like doing like running ads, solving the traffic problem is more about just getting started than trying to figure out like the little aspects of what you might be missing. Like the best time to have planted an oak tree was 20 years ago, so that the oak tree is awesome and beautiful today, right? But the next best time is right now. That's the answer to that question about the face. Like, when do I launch my Facebook ads? You just get it rolling. And the technicals, like, as long as that, like, let me kind of share what I think about message versus technicals. No amount of great copywriting, even if the best copywriter in the world came and created a complete sales page for you on some product or service or information, a document or digital product, no amount of amazingly crafted copywriting will sell a bad product. No amount of great copywriting can sell a bad product. So the message is absolutely the most important. It has to be a product that matches with a problem, a flaw, an issue, a pain point that the customer has, right? And if you can dial in on that message with the framework that you're about to learn, I think you're going to absolutely like see results from the bat, and not have to worry about the message. But once you dial in on your message, then you can start thinking about the technicals. You can then start thinking about the little aspects that may help you for scale. But that's it, right?
Exactly. Technicals are when you, for example, Johnny, he's making 80 grand a month. He has to worry about technicals because the 80 grand a month, he can turn that into 85, 90, 100 with just some small tweaks. But when you're trying to get to 20, 30, 50 grand a month, you pretty much have to just focus on what's important. Are you ready for the right strategy? Drop me a big yes down below if you want to learn exactly what's my framework or what's my analysis when I go and create an ad. No, this is not
Sorry, no, I was going to say, when you see this, guys, when you see exactly what the framework is, don't be fooled by its simplicity.
Exactly.
Don't be fooled by its simplicity, because when you see that, and we're going to go into it a little deeply, but I don't want you to be fooled by the simplicity of what this framework does to creating amazing ads. Trust me when I say that, but how many of you guys are excited to actually see that framework?
Awesome.
We're getting a bunch of guesses.
Yes. Awesome.
Hey, give me some likes. Give me some likes on the video if you're ready. Let me see that number go up. I want to see that you guys are ready to see that framework for creating the perfect ad.
Let's go. Okay, we're getting a lot of yeses.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Let's go.
Awesome. All right. So what I'm going to teach you right now, and I really haven't heard anybody else talk about it in the e-commerce world or in the dropshipping, in the Shopify world. I only heard from one, and he's pretty much a billionaire at this point, multimillionaire, Russell Brunson. He talks about the who, what, why, and how. The 4 words that will make you the most money you've ever made. Who, what, why, and how. You might be thinking like, okay, what does this mean? And when I first saw it, I thought, well, this is too simple. This probably isn't the most complex thing. I don't think this is a lesson that I should pay for or anything like that. But when you look at it in this way, and I completed it for you because he only says who, what, why, how, and then he explains it. What I think is better is who are you selling to? What do you have to offer? Why would they bother buying it? And how can they get it? So who are you selling to? This is your audience. This is the person that needs your product. Like we were talking about yesterday, a product needs to solve a problem. A product needs to relieve a pain. So that's why it's PTS. It's not just ads, or it's not just product. It has to be combined.
A combination.
Exactly.
Yeah. I would also mention too, guys, like or I think Rafael might agree with me that the single thing that I think is going to grab the attention of your customer is answering the question, why do I care? Why would they bother to buy what you have to offer? Answering the why is it's one of the strongest suits, because you're playing to the person's emotion. Why should I care to buy this? Well, it's because you're suffering from stomach pain. It's because you have constipation and you need something to actually relieve you of the abdominal pains that you suffer, right? So you have to understand the who, the what, the why, and the how, because the who is for Cupid. Cupid needs to know who is the person I'm going to target with my message. What is it that I'm going to sell? Why am I going to sell this? Because I need to understand the pain point. In fact, it might even be cool to be like, who is who I'm targeting. Why am I targeting them? What's the problem I'm solving? What am I providing? Am I going to offer that's going to solve the problem? And how can they get it immediately right now at the 50%, 20%, 30% discount, or whatever that is, right? Does that make sense? Like, let me know in the chat, guys, if you understand, if that makes sense to you guys. That the why is a really big emotional, impactful message that you're going to create to get them to stop on their screen to see exactly what you're offering, because the why is why they buy. The why is why they buy.
And I see a lot of people always, for example, asking for a review of their product page, asking for a review of your store. And the question that I mainly ask is, would you buy this? And I ask the person, like, hey, can I get a review on this page? And I tell them, would you buy this? Why would you buy it? And they're like, well, yeah, I don't think I would buy it. Okay, then what's the point of even trying to sell this if you, the person selling it, wouldn't even bother buying it, wouldn't even consider to buy it? So these four
in fact, if you do this, I'm sorry, Rafael, but if you create the message, and you've suffered that problem. Like, for instance, I'm going to give you a really good example, guys. I suffer from the right-hand side with a slight carpal tunnel syndrome, right? And that means that from my wrist to the very middle of my palm, I have a pain that kind of every once in a while it comes at me, and I often like crack that little whatever that bone is in there. But I always have this little pain, and guess what happens if I'm suffering from that? That's actually a literal pain. But I want to solve that. What do I need to do? And you know what? 2 things I saw. I saw one. They were like, oh, buy this thing that you put on your hand so that you wrap it around, and that you don't have to bend it in any weird way, and it actually relaxes the muscles and the bones to try to help you with the carpal tunnel. The other thing that I saw that was a potential solution was a good friend of mine suggested, hey, you should be trying these exercises so that you put more weight on your wrist. And guess what? I tried both, and the one that actually worked was the one where my friend told me, hey, this is what you need to do. This is the exercise. You need to put more weight, do push-ups, or even lean up against a wall. The point of this is, when you have the problem, when you understand it inside and out, the pain points, the hell, what keeps these people up at night, you then have the why they need to buy this product. Does that make sense? If you are willing and able to buy this thing for yourself, or you have in the past, that means others can, and that it means that you understand the why behind why you bought it. And that's probably one of the biggest takeaways I think you can take.
Exactly. And I was watching one show the other day, actually, and there was this woman who, I think I talked to you about it. She was going to lose her leg. So she got into a really terrible accident, and she was going to lose her leg. And she was pretty much broke, didn't have much money, was working a minimum wage job. And she went to the doctor, and the doctor told her, well, we can do an emergency operation. You don't have insurance, but we can do a surgery for about $25,000. And the woman looked at him in the eyes and said, let's do it right now. And the doctor was like, oh, okay. And he didn't expect her to actually pay for it. He expected just to cut out of her leg. But she was in so much pain in the moment, and it mattered so much that she was willing to pay whatever it is. She was willing to sell her kidney to buy this. And there's some people that literally, you won't believe this if you're watching this, there's some people in China and some countries in Asia, especially poor countries in Asia, they will sell parts of their body. They will go and donate blood. They will sell blood plasma to buy an iPhone. I've heard this multiple times.
That's crazy.
Yeah, people selling their kidneys to buy iPhones. And I listened to this and I was like, what the? And people say,
do you want to? Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. I'll say something right after that.
Some people say like, oh, iPhones are too expensive. Apple it's not worthy of the price that people should buy for it. Well, if it's solving enough of a problem, or it's enough of the product that you're getting, so that's why the fulfillment and the actual product is the key, or the key to actually get people to buy. It's because people will do anything to get an iPhone, even though some people say, oh, it's too expensive.
Well, and you know what? I would say deeply, like, why do they want an iPhone, right? Why do they want an iPhone? And I think that it comes down to a couple of things that just are intrinsic. They're like really deep-seated things in the human psyche. One is they want what others have and they don't have. That's one reasoning, right? I want what they have. That's one sort of psychological, the grass is greener on the other side type of thing, right? They want what they don't have. Two, another reason for it is because their daily life without it is absolutely hell, right? Sure. So they feel like without this thing, whatever it is, that thing, their life is absolute hell. Their everyday life, a day in the life of this person is just hell without this product. Okay. Three, the other why is that status. I don't like looking like I'm poor, or I don't like looking like I don't know what I don't know something. I want to be in the know. I want to not look poor. I want to be the best expert at this particular thing. It's status. Status is what sells too. And those are like the most deeply seated whys, right? And so like for instance, this person who wanted to buy an iPhone and sold a kidney in order to get an iPhone, it's probably because in the daily life of this woman or man, they absolutely felt like an iPhone would solve a major problem, either as a status symbol, either as a very deep-seated pain, right? Or their daily life would completely have changed, or they literally have a pain that the iPhone actually solves. Does that make sense to you guys? Does that sound reasonable to say that the why can be really deep-seated principles that you can focus on? At any given point when you're writing your copy, if you understand the why, you have found the gold.
And it's easy to write ad copy once you understand the why, because it's not just about, oh, buy yours here, get yours now. No. Go down to the bottom of like, why would a person even, because some people, they put out an ad and I review it, I check it, and I think I would never click on this because I don't, and sometimes the product, I don't understand it or I need to be educated. So it's reasonable that I don't want to click on it because I don't know what it is. But sometimes it's a product that I would potentially buy, but the ad is just telling me to buy it. It's just saying, oh, buy yours here, get yours now, it's the best thing ever, go buy it. And I think, well, why would I even bother buying this? Why can't I just do a Google search and buy it from somebody else? So I think emotional selling is something that nobody talks about, and going very deep into what is somebody's life that they need your product. Once you solve this, it's just beautiful what can happen, literally. And I have a little thingy here that I need to take out. It's my lighting. Yeah.
And then, guys, one thing too, just while he does that, is that you have to, one of the things that we're going to talk about next, when you understand the who, what, why, and how principles of forming together an ad that works, you will now understand what Rafael is about to cover, why it's important. Right, because Rafael, I think you're about to. What's the next? I'm sorry, I can't see the slide itself. But the next couple of things you might actually teach them or show them results, right? Like show them ads.
Of course.
So this comes down to a principle. When you understand the deep-seated realities of these people, the people that you're hoping to sell a product to, right? The who, the what, the why, and the how, you then can become an artist, right? And Steve Jobs was referring to Picasso when he said this. Good artists, what is it? Good artists
steal.
Copy, copy.
Yeah, good artists copy. Great artists steal.
And what he meant by that is that you're stealing the framework. You're stealing the deep-seated root stuff that is the most important. And when you see examples right now, as Rafael shows you, you're going to be able to see beyond just the ad copy, beyond just the things that are written. Right, you're going to see deeper into what you can really steal, and that is the deep-seated pain, the status, maybe even, and then the thing that they lack in the day of their life, every day in their life that gives them pain. Right, so it's like, just think about these principles as we start to look at the next the ad library and the next examples of ads.
Perfect. And it's important to know that this who, what, why, how also works for your video, ad copy, and product page even. And it was able to get one of my students, Nicola, up to 5.46,000 per day. So he was making 5K, 6K a day consistently once he understood the way to sell his products. And he's in a very saturated, super saturated market. There's so much competition where he sells, and he crushes it because he understands this. So I want to introduce you a brand, or maybe you've probably heard of them before. If you have any idea about dropshipping or selling products, you probably come across this brand called Indestructible Shoes. And the way that they sell their shoes, or the way that they were so popular, is because they have the PTS method absolutely beautifully done. They have a really great product, which is a shoe that doesn't destroy. So a shoe that you can wear anywhere. It's waterproof. You can drop a car on it even, and it doesn't break. It doesn't hurt your foot, anything like that. They also have the traffic, which we're going to go into their ads and why they work. And then they also have the store, which is a really well-looking store and a very clean store. So they have that PTS method absolutely beautifully done. And if you know about Indestructible, let us know that in the comments, because it's a very famous store, and I want you to know what it is. This particular store, in about 2 years, Indestructible Shoes, they were able to grow to $1 million to $2 million per month. I'm assuming they're at the $1.2, $1.3 million per month consistently, running ads to their store and selling their products, and they're just absolutely crushing it. So a brand that went from 0 to 8 figures in just 2 years by combining a great product, a great traffic source, which is the ads, and then a great store, or having a clean store that they can get results on, they're just absolutely crushing it. So if they can do it, you can do it, as long as you have those things nailed. And the who, what, why, how method comes into when you're looking at their particular Facebook ads. So this is one of the Facebook ads that's doing pretty well from them. And you can see that even though they don't do the who, what, why, how directly as we talked about, so remember it's just the 4 W's, they do the what. So the what is on the top. Presenting Rider the most breathable, indestructible shoes by Indestructible Shoes. So they're not just telling you, oh, these are just some cool shoes that you can wear. They're saying the most breathable, so it's very comfortable, anybody can wear it, they can wear it really well, and indestructible. Look at that choice of wording. Indestructible, not powerful, not strong, not heavy, indestructible. And that's emotion right there. When you hear that word, you're like, wow, that's a cool shoe. So the first of all is the what. So what are they selling? Then it's the who, perfected to suit your active lifestyle. So it's directly attacking or directly targeting that active lifestyle of people. Accomplish multiple tasks at ease and in comfort. So it's going for people that are accomplishing multiple tasks. Maybe they have a job where they need indestructible shoes or very tight shoes with super lightweight, tough and breathable shoes all in one. Then it goes into the why, or at least as well the who. So who would wear this, or why would they bother wearing it? Features. Breathable fly mesh, European steel shoes, so they're strong as possible, puncture resistant. If you work in construction, which a lot of people do, if you have a job where something might fall on your shoe, if you walk a lot, if you run a lot, maybe you're walking by some place that maybe has some nails or has a little splinter or something like that. Cushioning midsole, so if you have any issues with your feet, with your legs, it protects you. No tie laces, so it's easy, flexible, twistable, lightweight. All these words are carefully chosen to talk about why should they bother buying the product. So this is why it's important. It's not just throwing some features out there like portable, easy to carry, resistant to heavy things. No, it's about choosing all the perfect things that fit into that why should I even bother. And then again, what's the result of having this product? Stay cool and comfortably safe. Whoever has said that they feel safe when wearing shoes? Probably nobody. So they're using a word that nobody uses for shoes, and they're saying comfortably safe, available in black, green, and pink, and then it's the how can you buy it. Order right today and get free shipping worldwide. So it's what?
And I wanted to just kind of interject for just a second. Like Ryan Reynolds said here, Ryan Reynolds. I'm buying some right now. But the reason why you buy these shoes, like, I'm going to be quite honest. I think we lost. Are you here? You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
Rafi?
here. Don't worry.
Rafi? Okay, cool.
I'm here.
It just because the ad, like, I don't think it's completely perfect, right? But that being said, like, this should show you that you can craft an ad with the very basic fundamentals of who, what, why, and how, and you should be able to sell ridiculous amounts as long as you understand that why really well. Because at the beginning, look, they start with why and they end with why. Check this out. The most breathable, indestructible shoes, by the brand. I even don't think they should literally be like present or Rider. The breathable, indestructible shoe for the everyday common contractor, right? Like they could literally go deeper and target someone very specific, right? They could have made that who much more specific, and maybe they don't, and that's totally fine. Right? But then we had another comment in the streams by Corey. Corey Kai said, yeah, you can literally walk. It says, yeah, they dry quick when walking through streams. Look, the why. So most breathable, quick drying shoe on the planet for hikers. Does that make sense? Like the deeper you can go into the who, the better. I'm not saying, yeah, it cut off for a second. Cool. I'm not saying that you have you don't have to make it absolutely perfect, but if you meet the who, what, why, and how, you're already a step further. Does that make sense, you guys? Do you guys see how more powerful you can make an ad like this once you know the fundamental principles of who, what, and how in ad creation? Do you see that? I mean, for me, that was a big aha when I started figuring out the very principle-based portion of creating ads. It completely, it was like wow for me. Right? So the most breathable, indestructible shoe. So it's important for them, for whoever it is they're targeting, because at this point, Facebook's finding all the buyers for them. They're not being Cupids and finding matchmaking, right? They've got the ad down. They said breathable is important, right? And if you see at the end, they end with the same thing. Stay cool, breathable, cool. They're synonymous when you talk about shoes, right? And then comfortable, safe, comfortably safe. That means it's a good shoe to wear to be comfortable, but it's also quote unquote safe. That means indestructible, safe. You see how they started off with the exact same criteria or the same type of wording, most breathable, indestructible. And at the end, they stay the cool, comfortable, safe. They're trying to just let you remember that. Regardless of the features, regardless of the lifestyle, you will have a breathable shoe that keeps your foot cool and a comfortable shoe that keeps your foot safe. Safe and cool, right? And that for people who have stinky feet, this is the shoe for you.
Exactly. And one student is saying, this is contrary to what gurus are telling you. Yeah, this is true because nobody talks about this. And a lot of people, they look at successful brands and they just think, oh, it's the product. And then they go and steal the product, the indestructible shoes, and then they don't get the same results. And they think, oh, maybe it's because they have more money. Oh, maybe it's because they started earlier. No, it's because they know how to create ads that will sell. It's crazy to me that some people think, oh, just because I copy this brand, it's gonna work. No, you need to go down to find the foundation of why it works in the first place. I know a huge brand, for example, BlendJet. I don't know if you know it. They sell portable blenders, and everybody and their mother out there is trying to sell portable blenders, and they don't get sales. And BlendJet is just absolutely smashing it. Because when you go to the core of it, BlendJet knows why their audience buys their products. They're not bothering with copying other people.
Yeah, one thing that I remember you said yesterday, Rafael, you said, dude, when you target something, you don't want to be a very small fish in a big, humongous, bloody water ocean, right? You want to try to siphon out your own blue ocean or create it. And the beauty of this, I bet you anything, guys. I bet you anything, because I've been doing running ads for over 10 years with even with bigger brands than this one. You start off by specifically targeting a very specific audience, right? The who and the what and the how. The who, what, why, and how are extremely important when you're getting started. Why? Because you start off as Cupid, the matchmaker. You have to find the matches in the market that want this shoe, right? Then when you have the data, when you have conversions, when you have purchases, when you've sold upsells, when you start getting those things in place, guess what? After a while, your ad can be something very unspecific, very untargeted, and Facebook will still find the buyers for you because they know the data, right? The algorithm is working in your favor to sell these shoes. So I bet you 100% that when the indestructible shoes got started, they were focusing on a very particular type of who and a very particular type of problem. And guess what? At the end of the day, they found that people cared about breathability for stinky feet, maybe, right? And making sure that your foot stays cool and to dry quickly. So breathable is extremely important. And indestructible is probably for someone who's like, I want a deal. I want to make sure that when I buy something, it's not going to get screwy, right? That's why people love German ingenuity. They buy German cars because German cars are supposed to last forever, or at least that's what they think, right? So
yeah, again, they're putting European steel. high quality words.
There you go. Yes, exactly. Right. So people, they must have found over time that the people who care enough about buying these shoes are breathable fly mesh. I mean, they start listing the things that they believe these people, the very specific type of audience, really cares about. Eventually, Facebook takes care of it, and with the algorithm, starts finding your buyers for you so that you don't have to be Qubit the matchmaker. You just have to have the right audiences accumulated.
Exactly. Is that clear, everybody? Do you now know how to make ad copy for your product? You can't just copy an ad template. And also, their videos, they all start out in some way where they are just crazy. For example, this particular video, the thumbnail is a car running over the shoe. And I see a lot of people doing videos that don't really catch any attention. You are distracting people from scrolling, watching their friends, their cousins, their crush, their whatever's pictures and videos. You're distracting them from that pattern. It needs to be like you are, let's say, sleeping, and it's a massive sound that wakes you up and you're like, oh, what is this? What is this? And now you pay attention to it 100%. That is what you want to do with your ads as well. So for example, you see this ad, you're seeing a car run over a shoe and you're like, what the? Like somebody that doesn't know what this is going to immediately click on it. And they're going to be like, what the? I want this. Like obviously a car is not going to run over me, maybe, but you want something that protects you against it. And it gives you that sort of aspect of, I'm indestructible. Like my shoes are indestructible, I'm indestructible. So that's the way they do it with their videos. You can go to their ads library. If you ever want to find a video or any type of ad from somebody, you just go to their Facebook page, go to the bottom where it says page transparency, click on see more, and then you're going to click on go to ad library in the bottom right. And the cool thing about this as well is you can see how big their team is. So this one in particular, they have about 15, 17 people on their team, and most of them are from the Philippines. So you know how people structure their, for example, an 8-figure company, how they're structured. They have 2 United States, probably the owners, the guy in Ireland. A lot of US companies, they register in Ireland, so maybe it's a contact or somebody like that. They have 10 VAs in the Philippines, 2 VAs in Vietnam, and 2 other locations which they didn't disclose. But you can really dissect the company really well just by looking at this. So it's a really cool thing. If you don't use it that much, the page transparency page, just go into any page that's doing really well, go to it and analyze what they're doing. If they have 1 US and 1 Philippines, then wow, it's a team of 2 people making whatever amount of money. And you know exactly how you should structure your company as well. So it's a little bit hack nobody talks about.
Yeah, another kind of cool little hack too is when you start writing your ads, guys, once you start scaling, I know this is for those of you who have been in the game for a while, when you start scaling, one of the things that might happen is that you might see your CPL, your cost per action or purchase go up a little bit. But one thing that I know I've always tested is creative, right? Like the creative aspect. If you change nothing, none of the copy, none of the text, none of the emojis, and all you do is change the image or the video, that's one of the things we constantly are doing, right? So like when we have like 2 or 3 ads that are just killing it, and they kill it. One of them's been doing for a little over a year and a half. One of them is just a couple months, but when they start seeing things decline, all that means is that, hey, you know what? Like this market wants to see something new. But I keep the ad copy exactly the same because again, like the ad. So once you start scaling, I'm just saying that the thing that changes is the creative, not the copy. So once you have the copy dialed down, once you know your who, your what, and your how, and your what, why. Gosh, I always get confused. The what, why, who, what, why, and how. Once you get all that settled down, you no longer have to touch that. At the end of the day, all you're doing is changing the creative. And so these guys are changing the video. They're changing the image, constantly testing different images and different videos to see what attracts people, what stops them in their tracks as they're going down their feed, right?
Exactly. And I'm just going to go really quick on my thingy here because I loaded their Facebook ads, and you will see that they are testing a lot of Facebook ads. For example, last week they launched 1, 2, 3 different ads. Same video, same thumbnail, different ad copy. So short ad copy, this isn't the why, what, how, and who, because this is probably a retargeting ad. So when you dig deep into the who, what, why, who, what, why, how, you don't need to do it for every single ad that you do. It would be for the first couple of ads. So for example, they do it with the cold targeting ads. And then when they go and retarget, they do it with just a line that conveys it all. Rider is stylish, modern, protective, all around sneakers. So you also want to do this as well. And a lot of people don't really talk about this too much. Like, what is the type of ad copy that I should run, or should I test too many creatives, too many ads? It's about the actual testing that's important. You're going to test a lot of different ads, a lot of different ad copies, and so on. So that's a great.
Yeah, one thing that I like when I look at the ad library, you guys should know that because the ad says it's active, it doesn't mean that it's actually running. Like sometimes the campaign is off, but the ad is active, right? So the ad is active, but it's not running.
Oh, true. That's true.
Like when you go up to the very this is hold on, stay there. Those are like the ads I always like looking at the ads that are further out to the bottom, because you get to see a little bit of a better picture of who they're targeting, right? And who is it that they're trying to sort of promote their shoe for. Now, if you go all the way to the top of the list, you'll see which one's actually stuck. Did any who's stand out? Who was the type of person, the avatar that actually still might buy the shoe? So if you go to the very top, there's one that says construction.
Exactly.
You see that? Yeah, right. So it's like they started to see that there is a language that worked very well for the who, and so they use construction as a keyword for people who are maybe construction workers, contract workers, people that are out there doing home services, whatever that is, right? And in some cases, if you think about the ladies in the home or the men at the home, like they are about to partake in a project at their home, and they want to make sure that nothing falls on their shoe, that they don't step on something that is a bunch of nails because their house is being built out. Whatever that is, the point is, guys, that when you use the system, when you look at ad copy using the framework you've learned today, you are completely unstoppable. Indestructible.
Exactly. And the reality out there is that most strategies don't really work in the real world. So a lot of people, they'll teach you a different strategy because they think it's going to work, or because it worked for them, but they haven't really replicated to anybody else. So we like to teach what works for a lot of people, and this who, what, why, how works for every single student. Students that do it again and again.
Principles are timeless. Remember that. Principles are timeless. Strategies and tactics, they may come and go, but principles will remain through the test of time. So frameworks and principles are really what you should be getting, and a lot of people don't teach that stuff. They only sell it to you. They sell it to you, and then they teach you maybe if you're lucky, they'll teach you the principle or the framework on the back end when you buy a product or an information stuff, right? But we're getting it all for free here. And that's what I want you guys to understand, that the biggest takeaway is aside from looking at the actual strategical aspect of this, principles are what stand the test of time. And these principles are going to last forever. So it's very simple, very basic, going back to the basic strategy, right? Going back to the basics way of making sure that you do your ad copy correctly. Did you guys get some good information from that? Did you guys value that?
Let us know if you valued it down below. We want to make sure that we're giving you the most value possible.
Because it's funny, I feel like we're talking about it more and more and more, but maybe they already get it. Maybe they get it. Sure, you guys get it?
If you get it, we'll continue to the next section.
Very cool. All right, man, let's go. Thumbs up.
Awesome. Okay. I don't see the comments for some reason, but I'm assuming they're coming through.
Oh, yeah, there I see them. Great info, Tony. Bravo. Yeah, I think it's just a delay.
It's a little delay. Okay. And the truth is, most people out there don't really care about the message, and which is the why, or the audience. So you need to combine both. They both need to be, they're key. They're both. But who here doesn't want to use Facebook ads? Who here thinks that maybe Facebook bans people for no reason? Maybe there's like some payment issues. Maybe there's some problems. What are your thoughts when using Facebook? And who thinks they don't want to do Facebook? Because I'm here to tell you that you don't need Facebook ads, right? You don't need them. they typically work the best. They typically get the best results. They typically get my students the best results. But if you don't want to, then we can also do another one. So let me know if you don't want to, because I'll go into 2 other traffic sources. Prefer something else. Got it. Okay, cool. Nice. Okay, so let's go into what platform should you use if not Facebook, because you don't need to use Facebook. You can use another advertising platform, another platform to sell your products. It doesn't necessarily have to be only social media ads. We're going to talk about Google Ads here for a second, because I've seen a lot of my students get really good results with Google Ads, and I teach Google Ads. For example, I have a program. We're not going to go into too much detail on it today, but yes, I do teach Google Ads, and one person is saying Google Ads are extremely cheap at the moment. Yes, this is very true. They are very, very cheap. And Google Shopping, Google Ads are extremely effective. So we're going to talk about a tool that I really like to use. It's called Keywords Everywhere. Keywords Everywhere. And what this tool does, it is free. I think it costs you $10 for a 1-year access or something like that. It's very easy, right? It's just it's $10. I think even $5, depends on the country where you're from. And what this tool essentially does is, if you look for a keyword or a set of keywords or a phrase, it tells you the volume. So how much volume it's getting on a monthly basis. What's the cost per click of that keyword? So if you look up indestructible shoes, then it tells you the volume, 90,000 per month, the cost per click, which is 60 cents, and the competition, which is 1. The competition, you don't really need to look for it too much. It's just basically how many people are competing. And in this case, the competition is 1, which is just one big competitor, which is obviously indestructible shoes. So it's fine, but the main thing that you want to look at is volume and CPC. And you always want to be under $1. And the way that you use it is that, let's say you want to sell a product on Google and you want to sell like a home desk or a laptop stand or something to help on the laptop, because there's a lot of people that are at home, they're working at home, they don't know how to put their laptop or they don't know how to use their laptop properly at home. And we talked about a great product yesterday about this particular topic. So let's say you want to sell a home desk. Now, Keywords Everywhere tells you different keywords that you can target on your Google Ads. Home desk ideas, home desk chair, home desk setup, home desk for sale, home desk furniture, home desk office, IKEA, blah, blah. So all these keywords, as long as they're more than 100 searches per month and around $1 to $2 per keyword, then that's where you want to be. So you want to be on keywords that are more than 100 searches per month. So not the bottom one, which is just 10 per month. You want to be at 100 per month, or $1 to $2 CPC. And those are the keywords that you need to focus on for Google Ads. Now, the type of ad, if you don't know this, which some people probably do here, is that when you look up a particular keyword, let's say that's laptop stand, the ads that show up on the top are called shopping ads. So if somebody's telling you to do search ads or display ads on Google, ignore them a little bit and just start doing Google shopping ads. And you'll see a really big Shopify store here. It's called Inspire Uplift. They make millions of dollars on Shopify. And you'll see whenever you look up for something, whether that's in the UK or US, Australia, you'll always see this sponsored little tag here and then the ads. So the ads on Google are kind of similar to the ads on Facebook, but these are search intent ads. So somebody's searching for it. It's the low-hanging fruit. And then they're finding your picture and your product. Now, how do you actually show up for these ads in the first place? So how do you show up and how do you make these ads? So the main thing is that you need to go to Keywords Everywhere and take out all of the keywords that that show up for this laptop stand. So we're selling a laptop stand. That's what we're selling. You want to take laptop stand portable, laptop stand vertical, laptop stand bed, and so on and so on. And then you want to put them in your tags on your Shopify store. So you go, a lot of people, what they'll tell you is just put them in the product title, just put them in the product description, but they never talk about the tags. And the tags is a huge one that a lot of my students have been using lately, and I've taught them how to use, that they're getting great results with. So they go to Keywords Everywhere, they look for the best keywords that are more than 100 sales volume, and also $1 to $2 CPC. They put them in the tags and they start showing up for these ads. So they start showing up for Google Shopping. And the great thing about here is that if you have a product that, for example, a lot of people search for, let's say you're thinking of selling a product. Let's say that's, if you can name a product that you're thinking of selling, or whatever product that you think you're gonna do, or you're gonna start advertising, you can just go to Keywords Everywhere, type it on, and see how many people are searching for that. And if it's more than 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, it's likely that that product or products like it are getting a very high search volume on Google, and it's kind of the easy way to get customers because it's people that are already looking for your products. You just sell them on what you're offering because they're already looking for it, they're already clicking on Google to try to find it. So if you want to find if Google is the right way to do it, you just have to go to Keywords Everywhere, see how many searches it's getting per month, and actually find out if you should do it for Google or not. And then what you want to do is you want to add those keywords onto the tags on your product page on Shopify, and then you can start showing up for these particular keywords. So that's how you show up, and that is how the best way to do Google Shopping ads, and the best way that you're going to get results for them. So Tony,
I would also say, guys, like I just mentioned a tool called Uber Suggest, which is a tool by Neil Patel, which is probably one of the like greatest SEO guys on the planet right now, who is alive. So I would highly suggest maybe looking at that as a free tool to look for volume as well for keywords, just as a suggestion for another free tool that you guys can use. For me, like I really like Google. Google Ads is obviously a different ballpark than Facebook, right? And one of the things that I specifically like about Google is that the way that their advertising is performed, you set up your merchant account. These are all the details, right? I don't want to go too deeply into it. But once you set everything up, even if you're using the smart shopping, right, the one that they run it for you, you have a very high likelihood of seeing success with this stuff because the keywords are very specific. So when someone is searching for something super ultra specific to something they need, they want, they desire, then there's a higher likelihood that you're going to show up. Like and the beauty of it is that if for some reason, like even if you do the automatic version, right, the smart shopping, Google Shopping, even if you do the automated version, you can still go in and start you can look at all your products and remove the ones that aren't succeeding and leave the ones that are. That's kind of like a beauty behind Google. And so I just want you to know that like every one of these platforms has technically a way to run it right. But I want you to focus on thinking about where can you get the cheapest potential traffic, and then what do you have to do to match the advertising that's showing up like other competitors that are selling the same thing. So ads are still kind of the same. It doesn't matter whether you're on Facebook, Instagram, or Google. The only thing that you have to remember is that you have to consistently keep looking at your data. Right, when you first get started, again, you're playing the role of Cupid, being the matchmaker. And then eventually, the goal is that you've done enough testing and enough research that you're just killing it with either one of these platforms.
Exactly. And I see one question. I'm going to answer it. All the questions that you have, please leave them until the end. We're going to answer them. But what are your thoughts about hiring somebody to do your ads for you? And I have my thoughts on that. And I don't recommend hiring agencies. I recommend hiring freelancers. So if you are going to hire for ads, you hire one person, because I've hired a lot of agencies and a lot of people that they work for a team or for a company and they end up just with bureaucratic problems. They don't give you the best person for your job. They just give you a random assistant or a random employee. They don't actually pull through on what they told you that we're going to do. And it's just a team. It's not one person. And you can't cultivate a sense of company with them. You're just sort of their client. Now, if you have one person that works for you, that's the one that's going to grow with your company. So a freelancer is much better than hiring an agency, because an agency, they just care about you because you're paying them. The freelancer cares about you because he's become part of your company. And that's been my experience hiring. But I
agree 100%. No, I agree. I couldn't have said it better myself, dude. I agree 100% with that.
Cool. Aren't Google ads meant for retargeting? No. You can do cold traffic for them. Leave your questions
and we can ask. Yeah, we'll answer these at the end. So if for some reason we don't get to your question, guys, just ask it whenever we get to the Q&A section.
I personally, or this is just my personal opinion, you can do what you decide based on this training. I suggest starting with Facebook ads because it's the fastest, easiest, and less complicated, or less. You'll need to wait less to get approved. On Google, you need to wait like 2 weeks to get approved. Now, Google is more simple to set up, and it is much more straightforward than Facebook. Facebook is like, it's kind of all over the place, where you need to learn exactly where to put things, and like we said, you need to learn a lot about psychology and a lot about emotion. On Google, it's just about they're searching for the product, they're going to buy the product. So the emotion isn't really there. It's much more simpler. I suggest it to people that don't have much experience setting up Facebook campaigns or setting up any type of advertising campaigns, or just beginners in general to online business. I suggest them Google because it is easier. So I have one student actually, and if you're watching this training and you're a little bit old, you're like 60, 65, whatever. I have a student who is 63 years old, and he's making a lot of money through Google for his Shopify store. So it really doesn't matter how old you are. As long as you can use a computer, you can do it. But Tony, I know you have another opinion. Use it.
I was going to say, if you can use a computer and follow step by step, like that's not the problem, guys. Like the technical stuff is not the issue. Believe me when I say that when we talk about the product yesterday, when we're talking about traffic and ads today, right? And tomorrow when we start talking about the perfect shop or the perfect store, like you don't have to worry too much about the technicals, at least right now. So long as you understand the principles, you can move forward with figuring out. Like information wants to be free in the world. That's why we're doing this for free. That's why we're sharing all of this information, because every guru out there is trying to sell you on some course. And what we're trying to do is just give it to you. We're giving it to you, and then what we're offering towards the end is a way of having implementation partners. We want you to be part of our implementation partners, right? But the point is even if you decided not to do that, the point is all this information you're getting, you can take and run with it. But the technical stuff, the very detailed, minute, step-by-step stuff, that's stuff you can find on YouTube, right? That's something you can literally just go to the search bar on top and say, hey, how do I set up a Google Shopping ads? How do I do that step by step? And you can find that answer very quickly, right? So again, don't get tied up with the minutia, like don't get tied up with the very minute details of everything. Just understand that Facebook is probably one of the best places because you can get some results really quickly. Google is a great place for commercial intent when you can find commercial intent keywords that are actually where people are searching for in order to make a purchase decision. Then you're gonna do okay there. The problem is when they type something in, let's say that they're looking for indestructible shoes. Let's say that they're looking for that, right? And then an ad pops up, but there's 10 or 15 different options. That may be a little bit hard because all of a sudden they have to go shopping, right? In some cases, yeah. Right? So whereas on Facebook, people see the ad, oh, you're addressing the why, the problem, the thing that they want. Then you go into the features and the details and the benefits, and then you say why they need this, and then you give them a link and they go and they buy impulsively. That's why we recommend Facebook. You can use both. You can use all three, including Instagram, right? Or even TikTok, or you can use Pinterest ads, whatever you'd like. The point is once you focus on one, once you get results, then you can go into a next one, and then you can move on to the next one as well. Like that, don't get stuck on which one. Start with one that you feel absolutely comfortable with, where you know your audience is. We prefer Facebook because everybody on the planet is on Facebook for the most part. And you don't have to worry about competitors as much, right? So when you come up as an ad on Facebook, there is no other ad anywhere in sight, especially on a phone. On a desktop, you got some ads on the side, but on the phone where most people are making their purchases, right? You're in the center, and there's nothing else intruding on your property and space right there on Facebook at that given moment in time. Does that make sense?
That was perfectly said. Yeah, and that's true. You do have to test it, but you need to realize that there is two different platforms. And if anybody, by the way, wants to do TikTok ads, or you're thinking about doing TikTok is just a Facebook ads placement. So a TikTok ad is a Facebook ad set for TikTok. So just so you know that, if you're ever wondering about doing TikTok ads. But what if I don't want to do Facebook or Google ads and I want to do something else? Maybe I want to do Instagram, Pinterest, whatever it is. And this also applies to Pinterest. Let's talk about Instagram first of all. Pinterest, I have some experience in. I can't say that I'm an expert, so I will not be teaching it here. If you are interested in Pinterest, I can get somebody that is an expert later on, make a video with them, something like that. But I don't consider myself an expert. I only teach what I know. So I will be talking about Instagram. And the main thing that I recommend you here, it's very easy to identify your competitors and companies and Instagram accounts that are in the same niche as you. So let's say you're selling fitness products or fitness gear or clothing. You want to go to somebody like Gymshark that has 4.3 million followers, has a lot of views, a lot of posts on this particular niche, and makes a lot of money. So obviously it's a brand that makes a lot of money, not just a random page. And what you want to do is you want to find a page like this, like Gymshark, or for whatever niche you're in. If you're in the niche of home cooking, whatever it is, you find a competitor for cooking. And what you want to find is one of their posts, whatever post they posted in the past 7 to 10 days, and you want to look at the people that they are showing off in their posts. So in this particular one, they're just showing, I'm assuming a couple, girlfriend and boyfriend, and they're tagging them. So what you want to do is you want to go to the tag and then go to the actual page where that tag is. So for example, this one in particular is called By Evelina, and she works for Gymshark. She's a Gymshark ambassador, or you can call it influencer, whatever you want. And she works for Gymshark. Gymshark pays her to be a sponsor. So you don't want to go for people that are too big. 530,000, 500,000 is a little bit too much. You want to go for influencers that are 25, 50,000, 10,000 followers, something like that. So you have a good leeway in price, because a person that has 500,000 followers, their cost for a shout out or their cost for a post will be very expensive. So you just do this particular motion. You go to a competitor, you check the post, you find an influencer. You'll do that very quickly, and just try to find somebody that has between 10,000 and 100,000 followers. You reach out to them, and then you can get them to start working for you. Now, if you have money to invest, I recommend going with ads first. If you don't, then you can go with influencers, because I see a lot of people getting into Instagram influencers and they don't know how much time it takes. And I'm telling you, it takes so long to get influencers to first reply to you, and then second of all, to actually set up the post. So is it profitable? Extremely profitable. Now, I would only do it if you don't have much money. So if you have like $100 to invest, I would actually recommend you save up money first. But what do you think about organic traffic, Tony, and going with strategies that you don't need money to do? What do you recommend for people?
So I want to fail fast. I want to fail fast. You know, I really want to make sure something's going to work. If I'm going to imagine this, guys, imagine this. Okay, look, listen. Imagine that I created a humongous mansion with a huge pool, and it has 15 acres. Now, let's say it has 17 acres, 18, 20 acres of hunting land. And I did it. I created it all. I literally put a fence around the entire thing, but it's in the middle of the desert. Like imagine me trying to do everything organically to make it just perfect, and then at the end of the day, like, I did all that work for nothing, right? I want to fail fast. I don't want to fail slow. I want to run ads to figure out something works right here, right now, so that I can then take my time and slowly scale it to the moon. Does that make sense? I take my time to scale it to the moon after I've figured out that something works. So you gotta get, like, it's like we were saying yesterday when we were talking about product research. You want to select an ad. Curate a list of products. Pick one that really resonates with you, where the who, the what, the why, and the how are super important. Right? You now can put that puzzle together, and then move on to the next part, which is the store, and then the ultimate part of all this is scaling. So does that make sense, Rafael? I hope that answered the question.
It does, because I would rather people, instead of going with organic traffic, going with just the cheapest thing they can do is I would rather they make some money, like $200, $300 or something like that, and they go and test it on ads and learn from ads and then use that as a learning. So you do want to think about it as you're going to university, but university is real life. So you want to pay your tuition somehow. And the tuition, you can either pay it with time, so you might take 2-3 years to get your first sale, or you pay it with money. So you pay $100, $200 to get your first sale. You can do that in a week. So you're going to have to pay a tuition regardless. You're going to have to pay it with money, or you're going to have to pay it with time.
Yeah, and I agree. Oh, I agree with that so much, dude. Like, I rather, instead of spending $300 with an influencer, spend $300 on ad, and then even if it doesn't work, let's say that you make 2 or 3 or 4 sales of something, so you're in the negative, but you spend $300. That is a better win in the long run, I think, because you're getting data, than to just like maybe organically do something good, right? Like, you're still, like, I don't know, personally, again, it all comes down to just failing fast. I want to know that something's going to work or not. I want to know that I can do my best with a very specific system and framework, put it together, get it going, see what happens, then move forward. Organic just takes too long. I mean, really, if you want to do like build an entire website, put a bunch of articles, and then SEO everything, build links, but 7 months down the road, you're ranking for Nintendo 64, but then they discontinued it, and then what? You just spend 6-7 months of your life trying to sell something that you could have just tried to sell. Like forget trying to spend so much time right before the sale. Just go and sell. Go and sell.
Agreed. And people are saying they love what you're saying. They love what we're teaching them today. So it's great. Or
awesome.
One thing that I do recommend for influencers is one of my students, Ibrahim. I talk about him a lot. He owns a company called Pseudo. He makes about 60 to 80 grand consistently per month. And most of that is ads, right? Most of it is advertising, but a lot of it is influencers that he's used as a branding strategy. So what he does is, and what you can do if you're thinking about doing influencers in some way, is combining them with ads. So what he does is he goes to influencers, he gets posts and models and shout outs from influencers, and then he goes and uses them in the ads. So that's one thing you can do where you perfect your branding, where you're just not using templates or random people, you're using your own people that they posted your product, or they, for example, make a testimonial video or review video of your product, which is priceless. You pay them as an influencer, and then you use that on your ads. When I had a brand in 2018, I had a 6-figure swimsuit brand, bikini brand. I think, Tony, I met you. Yeah, you remember that. I was doing a lot of influencers, and then we would pay the influencer to make a video or a photo of the swimsuit, of the bikini, and then we would use it as an ad for it. So that's definitely one thing you can do. And the great thing about it is once you get your brand up to a point where you're doing like $10,000, $20,000 per month or more, you can combine all three, Facebook, Google, and Instagram, and you can destroy the competition once you dominate all those three. So you want to be sort of omnipresent, where you're everywhere and you're retargeting everyone.
Dude, can I share a really ninja thing that you should consider in the e-commerce game? I know this is completely going off a little just for a second, right? But let me share something ninja. When you even let's say that you're creating a store and you've been running it for let's say you're just running it for a couple weeks, a couple days or something like that, and you start putting money into it, you're getting a couple sales here, but you're still kind of like you're either breaking even or slightly below breaking even, but you continue to work it so that you get a positive result, or even if you just continue to stay at break even, do you know that you have just spent your time wisely in building an asset that attracts customers? Even if you break even, you've created an asset that attracts real buying customers. And guess what? That is a resellable asset. That is a resellable asset, because in my world, in the world of advertising and marketing, guys, the guy who is willing and able to pay more for a customer wins. And so guess what? Your competitor, someone who's a competitor to you, they might be so inclined and interested in buying the brand or buying the thing that you built because they want the customer, especially if it's at break even, because that means that At break even, I'm taking market share from someone else. Like if I like let's say I sell this indestructible shoe, right? And I make $0. I pay for everyone's salary, I pay for the VAs, I pay for all the product, everything like that, but I make zero profit. Still, that is a sellable asset that some other shoe company might comes along and says, what the heck? You guys have literally sold thousands upon thousands of these shoes every single day or every single week. What the heck? They love assets like that because they now have tied into a market that they didn't know or didn't have before that's taking market share from Nike shoes. Does that make sense? I know that's probably way over some people's heads, but that's okay. I just want you to know that even at break even, you are creating an asset that attracts buyers to it. There's so much power in that, and I can't understate it enough. Rafael, I'm sorry, bro.
I love that. Trust me, I love that because that's what a lot of really big companies do. A lot of companies that are making, let's say, millions of dollars even, they break even, literally make zero money. Their owners live like with their parents and stuff for 2-3 years, and then they sell the company for like $50 million, or they sell the company for like $10 million. And I look at this and I'm like, wow, this person is a genius. They didn't even have to make any money, and now they sold for a ton of cash. So even if let's say you're running your business and you're not making that much money, even if you're breaking even, as long as you're not losing money, you're building an asset, or at least kind of think about it as building a kingdom where it's all built. You have followers, you have an audience that's going to buy from you anyway later on. So that was beautifully put, Tony. That was amazing.
Thanks, dude. I mean, it's funny because when I say this, guys, when I started my e-commerce journey, I knew for a fact, if I could just break even, I'm already making money. You want to know how? Because of reward points. like I've been able to buy like nice little toys from Amazon, tax-free, by the way, because those rewards, if they never touch your bank account, it wasn't business income. If you buy directly with your rewards points to things like Amazon, you can literally have a tax-free way of getting toys for your company or for yourself, right? So just remember that even as you're breaking even, you are creating a sellable asset that can definitely pay dividends in the future. And two, even when you're breaking even, you're making money if you do it with the right strategy in place to make, in my case, to get reward points, right? Like seeing 100,000 reward points, I'm just like, yes. And I haven't lost any money. You really can't lose with this if you just focus on using principles that work, that are timeless.
Awesome. Now, I want to ask you a question. Have I solved the traffic problem for you? Have I solved the traffic problem? Have we gone deep into what you need to do to create a successful ad? Not just copy a template, not just learn another Facebook ad strategy, but the emotional, the psychological requirements for a good ad. Can you see that traffic is not the issue? Getting traffic is not the issue. It's about really knowing your customer very well. It's about knowing why they need your product in the first place. It's about who they are. And there's a few people asking about Facebook ad targeting. What should I target? That's important, and I do teach it. I have a full free course on my YouTube channel. We would be talking about that for like 2 hours. So if you want to go, just type in Facebook ad targeting on my channel. You'll find a full course on that. But it's not the main thing. The main thing is to know who is that person, not just what do they like. What are the Facebook pages that they're interested in? Because if you got it with a good enough creative, you will get sales from any type of audience. I have some students that are targeting. I have actually one student who has a big German brand, a big brand in Germany, and she targets Germany. That's her targeting. Germany, women, 20 to 50. And she makes a ton of sales because her ads are so powerful. So targeting and Facebook ads targeting is really important. You can go and watch it on the YouTube channel. It's for free. But it's not really the most important thing. We talked about the products. We talked about the traffic. Now, those shouldn't be an issue anymore. Remember, we have PTS, Product Traffic Store. Product Traffic Store. Sing it with me. And we talked about
product traffic store. Nothing else matters. So don't pay attention to anything else because all you need is PTS.
we got the
Dude,
product,
seriously.
we got the traffic, and tomorrow we're gonna do the store. So you do not want to miss tomorrow. You're gonna learn all the strategies that we're gonna talk about: stores, upselling, having the perfect store, how to increase your conversion rates, how to make much more money from your store. So you do not want to miss out on tomorrow. So I will hope to see you tomorrow here on the channel. Come. And
all right, now wait. Now are we getting into the Q&A section, bro?
Yes, we are.
Okay, listen up, guys. Before we start answering questions, because I know you guys, some of you, you're going to have to restate your question again, and I'm sorry about that, but you're just going to have to do it. Restate your question, but first, you have to press that like button. We want to see that you guys enjoyed the training today. Please smash that like button, the thumbs up button for me. Please smash it up. Let's blow it out of the park. I want to know that you guys are getting value from this, and we can now start the Q&A session.
Awesome. Okay, let's show our pretty faces here. And
smash it up! Come on! I know there's a little bit of a delay. Here we go. We got one like, another one. Like, I'm gonna see it. There you go. It's coming. Smash it up, guys. Smash it up.
Okay, we got 420 people. That's insane. Crazy. How many people we can impact and help? Yeah, really.
Yes.
Thank you for being
absolutely.
Here. Okay, let's see where we got likes from. So, or where we, what questions do we have? Out of the total budget for a store, how much percentage of budget should be dedicated for advertising? Well, if you are doing dropshipping, then I would say like 95% of it. The rest would be for apps, for extra plugins that you want to add on to your store. But most of it honestly goes to advertising because you don't need to pay for the product. If you're doing like Amazon FBA, okay, you need to pay a bunch of money for the product, but you don't need to with dropshipping. So, how do I know if an interest is highly relevant to my audience? Well, what I would say is one thing that I'm going to give you a little gem here about targeting. So if you don't want to go through my targeting blueprint, it's for free on my YouTube channel. Just stick to these three. BMI. Brands. So anything brands. So any companies, any big, large corporation companies that are selling the products that you're selling. So if you're selling, let's say, phone accessories or any type of phone things, Apple, Samsung, Chrome, all those companies. Now M is media, magazines, TV shows, network television, whatever it is, media, anything magazines. And BMI, influencers. So any famous people. If you're selling health products, Dr. Oz. If you're selling products for middle-aged women, Oprah. People that are famous. That's what I would say. Damn, we have a how much budget for Facebook ads?
Yeah, I mean, listen, guys, I think profit favors speed. Okay, and when you have a low budget, it's going to take a little longer, and you're gonna wait to see results, but you have to be more patient. The lower the budget, the more patient you need, because profit favors speed. And so I just want you, at least in this, I'm not a believer in quick getting rich schemes, nothing like that. But what I mean by that is the more data that you can collect, the more you pay for data, the better results you're going to get over time. So don't confuse that with me saying that you can make profit quickly. Okay, guys, I want you to understand that profit favors speed in terms of data. So with a lower budget, because honestly, it's going to be up to you at the end of the day. Now, I love starting with $30. I love starting with $30 in advertising spent for like an ad set. And at the beginning of the game, most of my money was being spent on ads. I wasn't going to do it on anything else. I spent it on ads, and then it gradually went to influencers or gradually went to other things. But I don't want you to lose patience. I don't want you to lose hope. If you have $3, $5, like, you got to try to just focus on an interest. Like, it's tough at the lower budget range. It's just going to be tough. So patience is a key thing for you.
True. Highly agree on that. Which apps do I need to have on my store? Can you list them all? Well, if you go to my YouTube channel, type in apps, there's a video that explains them. But the three main ones that you should have are review apps. So you can have either Loox, LOX, which is about reviews, Judge Me, and Review. Those are the best ones for reviews. And you want to have an app for analysis. And the app that I highly recommend everybody to get is Lucky Orange. Lucky as in luck, and orange as in the fruit. It's great for analyzing your heat mapping. It's great for analyzing your store, your traffic, everything like that. It works like Hotjar. And the third one I would recommend is upsell apps. So anything upselling. So just have those three, it's enough. You don't need 50 apps. You don't need 100 apps. Tomorrow we're going to discuss that, about the store, the exact apps that you need. Because you don't need, I see some people saying, oh, add these 50 apps. And you're like, well, you don't need this. You're spending like $100 on ads a month for nothing. So BMI is, I will put it here, brands,
yeah,
media, and influencers. Media just means magazines, TV shows, things like that.
Like if I was selling indestructible shoes, I probably want to target a shoe brand, right? That's in the construction industry. Let's say that who is the construction guy that works down the street on the high rise. Then I would probably select some sort of big brand, like a construction brand. Let's say it's
Caterpillar.
Caterpillar. There you go, Caterpillar. Or if my guy works in the farms or out in the fields, I might go after John Deere. Exactly. Right? That's a brand. The media, maybe there's like a magazine called The Rugged Farmer or The Rugged Construction Worker, whatever that is, right? Go after those magazines, those media, right? Outdoor magazines, and then influencers. Let's say that there's the Construction Joe has an influencer profile on Instagram, and you can go have him share your product with his audience. Or actually, that was Instagram style influencers, but the other option is in Facebook ads. You can literally target people that are famous in the industry that you're trying to target. Exactly.
Facebook sounds like the preferred platform. Have you had success with advertising physical products on YouTube or TikTok? YouTube, yes. I wouldn't recommend YouTube for starting. I would recommend it for scaling. So what you want to do is you want to take a successful Facebook ad and scale it with YouTube, not the other way around. Because when I first started YouTube, I spent like $10,000 and I didn't make any money. I just lost a bunch of money because it's a very hard platform to learn. I teach it in my program, but it's a pretty hard platform. So I only recommend that if you're already getting success, you want to scale up with YouTube. That's what I recommend. How long should an ad show to check the results or the conversions? I would say 2 to 3 days. You run it for 2 or 3 days and then you analyze it. You give it at least 3 days of breathing time, of getting data, of targeting very different people and seeing if your ad works or not.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday when we talked about the 72-hour period, the initial 72-hour period, and how to do that correctly is just looking at your conversions, looking at your objectives, but you give it a 72-hour period to try to see if you can get a conversion or two or a few more, right? Ideally more.
And Arthur, what app do I use for counting profit? Order Metrics. Order Metrics. It's the name of the app. Do you know how to ship with neutral carbon emission? I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. What is the ideal? What is the ideal budget for an ad set to start with? Minimum, I would say $10. If you're really tight on budget, then I would do 5. But ideally, you want to do 10 per day per ad set. You can do up to like 100. We do crazy numbers, but it just depends what you have.
Hey, Rafael, what did you say about TikTok and Facebook earlier? I think it was someone's asking about like I don't think Facebook owns TikTok, but you're talking about the ads placement in TikTok?
Yeah, so Facebook doesn't own TikTok, but you know that Facebook has a placement called Audience Network?
Yep.
So Audience Network is TikTok, Tinder, Duolingo, a bunch of different apps, and TikTok is one of them. So if you want to run TikTok ads, you have to run a Facebook ad directed towards Audience Network.
Yeah, the Audience Network TikTok is part of the Audience Network.
Exactly. They don't own it, but they're part of the advertising thingy.
Yeah, like the alliance.
Advertising. The alliance. Yeah, the dictatorship.
So Enoch, we talked about that in the product day yesterday. But to answer your question quickly, you want to have a mixture of what did you call it, Rafael? I really like the way that you put it. You said you want a mix of fillers and winners.
Exactly.
Fillers and winners. Lorenzo, so create a new campaign, or do you add more ad sets in the same campaign? Gosh, man, these are super very specific questions. I think testing is really important when you're running ads. If you, for instance, 72 hours, do you create a new campaign or do you add more ad sets? To be honest with you, like if I knew something was working, I'd scale it, and then once I scale it to a point, I'd duplicate it. I mean, it's like nail it, scale it, duplicate it. Nail it, scale it, duplicate it. And then if you want to try a new interest, you can too.
I would say it depends where you are. So if you, for example, let's say you just want to add a more testing ad sets, like Tony said, it depends where you are. So if you want to scale, then I'll recommend scaling in a new campaign. If you want to just add more ad sets, test more stuff, then you do it in the same campaign.
Mm-hmm. What is the best app to create ad videos?
I have a video editor that I recommend to my students, and we can talk about that tomorrow. You can potentially work with him. But I would say there's a good company. It's called Bands of Ads, and I've talked about them a lot. You can use my coupon code RAF10. You get a video from them 10% off, or just find a video editor on Upwork, like we talked about yesterday.
What is the best credit card to get reward points? The one that gives you the most reward points.
But now credit cards are kind of tough because you can't really travel too much.
But traveling. I mean, I don't even use them for traveling, guys. I got. Wait, how many kids do I have, bro? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 children. I always say 5 because someone always says I have 5 kids, and I'm like, no, I have 4. So I have 4 children, dude. I don't have the luxury of traveling, but I do have the luxury of buying stuff from Amazon and having it shipped directly to my door, and that is how I use my points.
Nice. How many likes should I get from an engagement campaign? Just run like $40-$50 maximum. I tried selling masks. My account got disabled. Do you suggest?
Wait. I want to answer that. I want to. One, yes, you can try influencers, sure, but your account got banned because you're taking advantage of a fad, and not necessarily a fad, but it's like a fad, right? In the sense that all of a sudden the demand is super high for these things. Eventually, it'll die down. But when you do that, when you don't think about a long-term approach to your business, you're going to run into situations where Facebook accounts ad accounts get banned or disabled. Does that make sense, guys? Like, you want to pick a product that is going to either, at least for the foreseeable future, be around for a couple years.
And also, don't sell health or healthcare products. So products that have to do with, let's say, thermometers, I don't recommend. Face masks. What else is there out there? Like test kits.
Yeah, test kits. Yeah. Oh gosh, because there's no FDA approval. There's just so much that can go wrong when you attach yourself to a product that's only going to probably see a bookshelf shelf life of a year or two.
Yeah, and the problem with masks is if somebody gets the virus and you sold them a mask against the virus, you can also get really hard sued. So be careful.
Oh yeah, you can get sued so bad.
My goal is to make $100,000 until August 31st. Nice, you can do it. Tomorrow we'll talk about how you can skip that and do it way faster. But we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Mobile, you can go try to apply for Stripe Atlas.
Yeah.
Go through that process. It'll be worth it.
Wow, there's a lot of questions here.
Again, we talked about products and shipping a little bit yesterday. We need templates for explain the customer's delay, shipping, and track data. I always just tell my people that things are delayed, and that works. I literally, when they get a confirmation of their order, they know it's going to take some time.
Yeah, always be very communicative to people, and for an app for tracking, use Aftership, and for a customer service app, use Zendesk with a Z, Zendesk.
Tashar, what we recommend for you to do is to follow PTS. PTS.
And also show up tomorrow. Come to the training tomorrow. I got 700 clicks, 9 cents per click, only 3 sold. Don't know what's going on. Well, it's likely that your product page isn't that great, but also 700 clicks, 9 cents per click, that is very cheap for US, even cheap for me.
That's really good. Holy.
It's probably that the audience you're targeting is all over the place. It's not very targeted at all. Or you're not doing the right type of campaign.
The message. I think there's one thing that I like to see in ads is congruency. If your ad says one thing and then your landing page doesn't say any of those words, exact same words, you're going to run into issues. So I think there might be a conversion problem there with you, because you're getting so many people to actually click your ad. Yeah. That means something resonates with them. Something hit home with them, like deep. But then they go to your site and something's not right. Something's not working there. And you can use things like Rafael was talking about, Hotjar or Lucky Orange or Mouseflow or any of those tools to figure out why, like what's going on. Did they get scared by my logo? Did they get scared by the colors? Are the colors different from the ads? There has to be a level of congruency in the experience. And that's what we talked about yesterday, right? The experience is absolutely more important. We'll talk more about that tomorrow, guys.
What do you think about Pinterest? Like I said, I'm not an expert at it. It kind of works like Instagram. And I had one student that did really well with it, but I wouldn't, unless you're willing to stick to it long term and you're selling a product that is beauty related or women apparel related, then I would do it. Are grooming products supposed to get violation from Facebook? My ads got rejected. It depends on the product, but there's a lot of people that have gotten their ads rejected over the past couple of days and weeks. So I would just suggest appeal the ad. If you get denied, then just create a very different type of ad, but it should not get disapproved if it's a grooming ad, unless.
It might be that you're saying, hey, is your hair looking funky or fugly right now?
Yeah, like, are you ugly?
You can't address. Yeah, you cannot address the physical attributes of a person in your ads.
Yeah, if you are saying like, are you ugly? Get pretty with my product. You are attacking the person. So if your ad at any point feels like you're attacking somebody, just change it up, because Facebook doesn't like that, and they can know about it very quickly. I started dropshipping about a month ago and lost money, so I started watching Rafael's videos. This month I'm already at $300. Congrats, man! See, even my YouTube videos get results. That's what we're saying. Information, teaching should be free. Tomorrow we're going to talk about implementation, about hand-holding, about helping you. But just telling you what to do, that should be free.
Yeah, there you go. You don't want to do physical attributions. One other question I saw earlier today. I think you're talking very specifically about something, Rafael, you talked on an old webinar about a Facebook hack on HTML to see only ads. Can you tell us more if it's working already? I'm not sure what he means, bro. Do you know?
I know what he means, but it's not working that well anymore. So you can use it, but I don't use it that much anymore. It just doesn't work as much. And also Turbo Ad Finder is kind of messed up lately, so that's why I don't recommend it too much.
John Rom is asking, are you guys open to mentoring from scratch from 0 to 100? Look, guys, this training literally is a very fundamental training, right? We're going to offer you a hand-holding implementation, like a speedier solution to try to get to your first 100, right? But the point of that is that this is not going to be introduced into the training until tomorrow if you're wanting to learn more about that. But take the information that we gave you right here, right now. You just saw someone who's made $300 this month, and that is a humongous achievement.
Yeah, you so cannot
if you can make things work. If you can make things work in the small, you can make things work in the scale. If you can make them work in a small, you can make them grow bigger. Trust me when I say that. Like $300 is an achievement, because at that point you've got something that's selling, you've got data that you're collecting, you can start to work on actually scaling that product.
Exactly. And yes, tomorrow we will talk about mentoring. So if you're interested in any type of mentoring from us, just show up tomorrow, we'll talk about it.
Before and after, if it's physical attributions, Ryan, the answer is no.
Any type of before and after. Like if you're showing before and after, it's probably a physical attribution. So
yeah, but if you're showing like a uncut grass and then a really beautifully styled landscape grass, then maybe yes, but not on a human.
True. Can I do Facebook ads with $100 a week? How many interests should I test? 100 a week, tight, very tight, but it's fine. You can run 2 interests, $10 a day for like 5 days, see how they do, or just run them for 3 days. If they don't do well, then you test another 2 interests. So you will have to go very slow, because that's like $10 a day, $12 a day, but you can definitely do it. That's not bad, actually. If you can live with that investment, that's fine.
Ori is asking cart drawers. What do you think? I don't know. I don't know what that means. Sorry.
I don't like cart drawers. I honestly like people to go straight into the cart and the checkout step by step.
Me too.
So whether that be skipping the cart in total or going to a cart page is better than going to a cart drawer.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I've never even actually used those, so I don't know. I can't advise on that myself personally.
Ooh. One person made $3,590 this month. Awesome work. Nice. Congrats.
Yes.
Congrats.
Sweet. I'm going to comment. Yeah, nice.
Thank you very much for both. You're welcome. Okay, we'll stay for 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes. Ask your questions.
Tony has 4 kids, so he's kind of a busy guy, I assume.
Yeah.
How to hire a freelancer for managing your ads. Check out yesterday's video. I talked about hiring somebody. Just go to upwork.com. Upwork.com. What do you think about email marketing? Definitely need it and great for scaling. Use Klaviyo for that. But yeah, definitely use it.
Yeah, especially when you've got a winner. When you got a couple of winners and fillers in your store, guys, when you get to that point and you're not even like a brand yet exactly, email is such a powerful tool to try to get lost abandonments or anything like that back to actually buying your stuff. So email is powerful.
True.
Been doing drop shipping for almost 1 year and only make 77. Dude, I think there's something holding you back. Something's got, if you're making $77, I don't know. I mean, if that was on a day or even a month, I feel like there's demand. But there's so many things that could go wrong, Ronald. It could be a demand issue. It could be a message. It's not a message that conveys a result. You know, who knows?
I think it's more shiny object syndrome. I think if you've been doing it for a year, I think you're just following too many things or testing too many random things and not being clear cut on what you're doing, not being focused. I think that's the main thing. Not about, your ad sucks or anything like that. Because I want to be really honest with you. And that's, last month, I made $15,000. Boom. See? Look at...
Jeez. Good job, guys.
Life proof that this works, people. So if you're ever wondering, am I smart enough to make money? Doesn't matter. There's other people, probably less smart than you are, that are making a ton of money on it, and they're killing it. So...
Look, and to be honest, I'm sorry, man, I'm going to cut this up for just a little bit. But look, guys, for some of you who are doing pretty good in e-commerce, some of you guys may be watching this video right now, right? And like, call us on our BS. If there's any BS that you find, if there's anything that you think isn't working, or if there's anything that we're saying wrong, call us out on it. Like, I really want some of you guys may be like seasoned e-commerce people. And I always I love a good argument, seriously. And so I think we're doing great. Like, we're sharing this information where other people charge for it. You're getting it for absolutely 100% without a shadow of a doubt free. So you can go out there and actually do this while it's a perfect time to do it right now while everybody's home and buying. And if you feel like it's BS, or if you feel like something's not being said, or we're not sharing something, like, let us know. Like,
True.
Fight with us. I want to fight, dude. I want to pick a fight with someone out there who thinks, that we're not. I don't know. Some people might be scared, and instead of mean, I don't know.
True. Beat the authority. Fight the authority. Yeah. Nice. Do you suggest taking your own photos for products? Yes, that is a great way to make ads. Take your own pictures.
Differentiate yourself. Yeah. How much do I need to budget to get into the mentorship? We'll talk about that tomorrow, guys. This is not about selling that that program. It is an implementation program. You're learning everything that you need to do manually so that you can get success in your e-commerce business. Please, please, please. We'll talk about that tomorrow. That we're not talking about that until then.
Yeah. So come tomorrow. Tomorrow. Okay. 2 more minutes.
Socorro Garcia. Congratulations.
As of today, I've sold $5,284. Congrats. Let's go.
Nice.
Every day a new success story.
That's a good question. Dude, I love that question. Do you see Ryan's question?
There's so many.
Do you always start with conversion purchase? He says, do you always start with conversion purchase campaigns, or do you start with engagement? What do you say to that, Rafael?
I would say if you're completely new and you want to, quote unquote, warm up the pixel or just start up some ads, engagement is great. Just don't get caught up on spending like $200, $500 on engagement alone. Yeah. Just spend a little and then go to conversion.
Yeah. I actually, just so you guys know, I don't do any conversion. I mean, I don't do any engagement ads. I go straight for the money.
Yeah, true. Best audience size on Facebook, 1 to 5 million. 3 to 5 million is best, 1 to 5 million is okay. Thanks to Rafael, I can clearly see my path now. I've been losing money with affiliate marketing. Awesome. Good to know you find your path.
Whitney, sometimes, I'm going to tell you this. I think there are more opportunities for someone who's willing to go slow, pace themselves and get this right, than someone who's trying to crash and burn like a rabbit, right? Like, you want to be the tortoise here. You want to be very, very tactical and implement everything step by step, not something that you just fly by night. Can I make a ton of money? Like the get rich quick believers are dying. They're going to die in e-commerce. Trust me. So the person who's willing to put the effort and the time to get this step by step done right, correctly, and do it over time is going to be the person who's going to succeed in the end. Trust me with that. So do not feel like you are out of the age range. Like Rafael was saying, he has a student that is in his mid 60s doing really well.
Exactly. Few students are 60 something. Come to Israel. I've already gone. I actually went to Netanya, met the Ecom Hunt team. Okay, so some people asking about Ty Lopez. Not gonna talk about any other competitor. Nothing. I don't like to be negative about anybody else. Is it okay to target the same audience as a big brand with the same product? Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being on here. 429 people. Please drop us a like down below. Share the video with anybody that you think will get value from it. And I will see you tomorrow, Thursday, at the same time here. We will talk about the mentorship program, as well as talk about how to get your store to make more money, how to build out your store in the proper way, and also how you can increase your conversion rate. So if you're not making the money that you want to make, tomorrow is the day that we're going to show you absolutely everything. Going to recap PTS. So the store section is going to be tomorrow, plus everything that you need to know to work with us, take it to the next level. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for being on here. Thank you, Tony, for a wonderful time here. And I will see you tomorrow.
Take care, guys. Peace. See ya.